Welcome to Sassy, Soulful, and Sensitive, the podcast for introverts, empaths, and highly sensitive people. I'm your host, Cam Nichols, and I'm here to guide and explore with you how to tune into your intuition, step into your radical self, and find your voice. If you want to ditch the feeling of being a tortured, out-of-place soul in this great big world, and learn how to speak up for all of your wants and needs and create a more peaceful, content, and empowered life, all while having more fun, keep listening. Hello, my beautiful friends. Hope you are having an amazing day, amazing week, amazing month. It is currently 6:38 a.m. Mountain Time in Salt Lake City, and I've been awake for a couple hours. I've had insomnia, and one of the things that has been on my mind a lot that I wanted to talk to you about is this idea that many introverts or empaths or highly sensitive people, this idea that we're broken, that we're defective, that we're wrong. And honestly, that just breaks my heart. But I get it. I felt that same way too. There's sometimes I still do. And I want to talk about why do we think we're broken? And really what it comes down to is that's what we're told. Right? That is how we are socialized. Most of the world is not introverted. They're not empathic. They're not highly sensitive. We are in a minority, and that absolutely makes us special, and we have our own superpowers. But we're just not told or shown in a way that helps us feel like we're not broken or defective. An example that I heard just the other day was someone was saying, oh, look who decided to join the party. What kind of bullshit is that? Come on. It's things like that don't make us want to interact with the world. And that can make us feel broken. And we're not shown that it's okay to stay home wrapped up in a cozy blanket with a hot drink and a book or a TV show or just staring out the window. And that peace and that calm and contentment is just as good, or even better, in my opinion, than going out and hanging out with friends. Now, don't get me wrong. It's important that we have relationships and friendships and we can go out and interact with the world. But we need to start honoring ourselves. And that starts with admitting that we're not broken. We're just different. We're wired differently. And so oftentimes what happens, and I saw this in myself, I still do. I see it with my clients. It's just this idea that we want to fix ourselves. We're constantly trying to be better, do more, prove our worth. And it's just not necessary, right? We spend so much time and energy trying to do those things, and the payout is feeling worse. The whole reason we want to fix or be better, do more, etc., is because we're trying to prove that we're just as valid as our extroverted counterparts. And really, what we're looking for as we're trying to do that is really just create this calm and peace and equalize our nervous system and just kind of calm it down, because we as highly sensitive people are taking in so much stimuli and energy all the time, right? I like to use the example of like pouring a cup of water into a bucket. A lot of, like, most people out there in the world, they get like 1 cup of water at a time. Highly sensitive people, we get 100 cups of water to their 1. And I'm not saying that makes us better or anything like that. Like, I'm not saying that from an egotistical place or anything, but there's just a higher level of perception, and we continue to process on a deeper level. And that's really hard for other people to understand. I was actually talking to my husband about this the other day, and he's like, yeah, when I think about a memory, I think of like a specific piece of it. He's like, other people. And I'm like, he asked me, I'm curious if this is your experience of like, they remember, but they're remembering everything about the experience. They are like not just the main focus, but they're also remembering the periphery, right? The sights, the sounds, the smells, all of the things. And I'm like, yes, that's why my speech is so weird, is because when I'm trying to think of words, it's like my brain is continuing to make connections. When I'm trying to tell a story, it can sometimes feel really disconnected because I'm trying to like pick out those focus parts, and I have all of this other peripheral information coming in, right? And again, it's just like, we're just like, there's nothing to fix. There's nothing to fix about us. We're just wired differently, and we are trying to make sense of the world that we're in with all of the information that we're getting. And I oftentimes have to remind myself and my clients that this need or trying to fix, that is what is the problem, right? Oftentimes is we have a negative emotion, and therefore we think something is wrong. So somehow, somewhere, I mean, it's all socialization if we're being honest, but it's like we have this fairy tale idea that we're supposed to feel positive or good 100% of the time. And that's just not realistic, nor is it something that we really want. Right? If I have a loved one or like a loved pet pass away, I don't want to feel good and happy and positive. I want to grieve. I want to mourn. I want to feel that sadness. Right? But it's so often, it's like, oh, if we feel negatively, then we're wrong. Oh, we must be broken. We need to be fixed. No, let's cut that shit out right now. Like, and it's so interesting to me because in those times when we're like that and like, we need to fix and I need to get out of this, and we believe in those moments, I'm speaking very general terms here, but like mostly in those moments, it's like we think we can action ourselves into feeling better, into more of that peace, that calm, equalizing the nervous system, right? But all emotion is just created in the mind. That's the difference between an emotion and a sensation, right? A physical sensation is like your body is physically hungry, and that's sending a message to your brain, right? But let's say like emotional hunger. Anyone else is like a stress eater out there? No, just me. Okay. It's like, yeah, we're having thoughts, and it's like, oh, I'm hungry, and that sends the the emotion of hunger to our body, and then we like stress eat, right? But even though we're not physically hungry, like we don't physically need that energy, but that's oftentimes what we're doing is we're trying to take action to feel better. And you know what? Sometimes we just have to tell ourselves to take action. And like when we're angry, get up and take a walk, take a break, right? If you get frustrated, just walk away. But notice just how those thoughts are what driving the action to walk away. And I bring all of this up again to circle back to this message that we receive consciously and unconsciously into our conscious mind and our subconscious, that we're broken or deficient, and we're not. Please, please, please work on reframing that story. You are not broken. You are not defective. You're not ineffective. We're just different. And there's nothing wrong with different. Different is what makes the world go round. It is what allows people to thrive in different areas. We can't all have the same strengths. If we did, how much shit would not actually get done? Like, we need people to do all kinds of jobs and things that fit with their personality and their strengths. And it's like, all right, all of our strengths are in piloting airplanes. Okay, so now we have a lot of people that are going to fly airplanes, but we have no one to fix them. We have no one to help the customers onto the plane. We have no one to help with customer service or with tickets. Like, it's just so ridiculous. But that's what happens in our minds, is that, oh, our strength is different and it looks different and we're told we're wrong, and we're not. Please, please, again, learn to reframe this for yourself. Come up with thoughts that when you notice the thought of I'm broken or I'm different, and you make it mean that it's something negative, like, come up with a list. Like, let that be the red flag to kind of rephrase and find some thoughts that are believable to you. Because I'm going to say it again. This is like the third or fourth time, but you are not broken. There is nothing wrong with you. Be emotional. Be a deep feeler. Be a deep thinker. Need time to process. There's nothing wrong with any of it. That's what I'm going to leave you with today. But I want you to know, even though I've probably not met you in person or even like virtually or online, but these struggles, these thoughts, this inner critic, this negative self-talk, I empathize. And truly, from the bottom of my heart, please know that you are loved just the way you are. Just the way you are. You don't have to be anything else but who you are in this moment. And know that that's going to change from moment to moment. And that's natural and okay. Love yourself because I love you. And if you are having a hard time loving yourself, I am happy to hold that space for you. Lean on my love for you if you have a hard time loving yourself. And I always like to end the show with a quote of my own. That's weird. That sounds really egotistical. I don't mean it that way. But I like to say that just remember that shining bright gives others permission to shine as well. Take care, my friends. Hey, I just wanted to say thank you so much for listening. Be sure to follow, rate, and review the show wherever you get your podcast, especially if you really liked it. If you didn't like it though, don't even worry about it. Also, head on over to coachwithcam.com where I have a guided meditation I'd love to gift you, along with 3 of my favorite mini trainings. You'll also be able to see what webinars or programs or other offerings I have coming up. And when you're ready to explore the depths of your beautiful soul, I invite you to come work with me one-on-one for 6 months. This is where you discover and harness the magic that already exists within you, your voice, so you can create whatever the hell it is that you want on your terms. Change how you show up for yourself in this world, then go out and change the world.